Today we're going to be chatting with Bruce Warren, who's the VP of Global Marketing at TradeGecko. He's a technology exec with over 20 years of international experience in marketing, product management, biz dev, and corporate planning. About the company itself, TradeGecko is a cloud-based inventory and order management platform for small and medium enterprises. They have customers in over 90 countries at this point, so well established, and they've raised over $12 million in funding to date. Bruce and I will be looking back at the wholesale distribution trends in 2017 and looking forward at wholesale distribution trends for 2018. So if you sell products online and if you want to know what's coming but not necessarily here yet, you'll really enjoy this short and sweet and concise chat with Bruce Warren. Okay, well, Bruce, thank you so much and welcome to the show. It is my honor to have a fellow Torontonian here on the recording. This is a huge day for me because I think it's a first for the show, I'm super excited. I guess by way of general structure for folks who are just joining us, we're going to take a look at 2017 and exactly what happened for wholesalers. We're going to break it down a little bit and analyze it, and then we'll look forward into 2018, which will prove instructive, I think, for many of you. If you sell wholesale products, I know a lot of you sell on Amazon.com and are branching out into other places. Bruce from TradeGecko is the guy to talk to. So I'm really excited to talk to you, and thanks for joining us, Bruce.
Thanks, Patrick. Great to be here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fellow Torontonian.
Yes. Great. Yes. No, this is the first for the channel. I'm super excited. It seems to be raining today, but not this conversation. We'll fix everything. I guess so. First off, 2017 was an amazing year for wholesalers. So we have some numbers coming in from Statista, which predict the global B2B e-commerce market was 7.7 trillion, which actually dwarfs the B2C market, perhaps unsurprisingly. So I guess big year. Did you want to maybe discuss some of the key points that we saw in 2017 that were salient?
Yeah, sure. So a few of the trends that we saw in 2017, I think that were super interesting was, continuation of this mobile theme, and we're seeing that all over. So, more mobile-oriented business systems across the enterprise, which for consumers obviously enables quicker and easier transactions on the B2B side as well as on the B2C side. And really what we've seen there is being able for wholesalers to keep in sync with their workflows across mobile devices. For example, if you have a salesperson in the field or at a trade show selling that way. And then obviously that digital payments is moving into the B2B space. It's been in the B2C space for a long time, but kind of this, services like Stripe and others being able to enable that single click online payment experience. Yep. Much easier on the payment side to track and then do settlement of payments. And we're seeing customers get paid a lot faster as well on the B2B side. So you're seeing that trend of faxing an invoice over and then chasing it up by phone. You're seeing that really move into the online space and having that end-to-end online payment experience. Okay. And I think on the customization side, you're seeing a lot of exciting things in B2B that are also moving over from B2C. So that enablement of really being able to have a personalized online shopping experience across the channels. I think that's really important. And through that, being able to customize your products and your prices, and having that integrated with your inventory system and also your payment system. Right. And then another big trend we're seeing is around this theme of omni-channel, so that omni-channel customer experience for B2B as well. So that's the ability to have multi-channel synchronizations, getting real-time stock information, being able to make sure that you don't overstock or understock, and then being able to easily manage your products, your buyers, and multiple integrations with systems. You mentioned Amazon.com obviously being a hugely important one, particularly in North America. But what you're seeing with that omni-channel experience, I think, on the flip side of that is that you've got higher expectations. So certainly Amazon.com has set that expectation for delivery. And your B2B customers are also wanting reduced waiting times. They want to have access to precise location information. And you really see businesses either competing or aligning with what Amazon is providing in the market right now.
Yep, yeah. Do you think there's any hope for an independent provider, so you're shipping out of your own warehouse or using an alternative to Amazon? Do you think that's going to become obsolete eventually, and Amazon's just going to set the new standard? Or
no, I mean, I think that the challenge for people using their own system or using other 3PLs is people are always going to be measuring it against Amazon. Like, how do we stack up to that? So I think it's not to say that those systems won't exist, and using other 3PLs certainly will have a place in the future. But I think it's that you're always going to be held up to that super high standard of Amazon and services like Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough to beat 2 days unless...
yeah, that's right.
Well, unless there's drones or something. That's,
there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Bruce. So that was 2017. Let's take a look forward into 2018. When you look forward, what are maybe 5 trends for wholesale distributors in 2018?
Yeah, so I think the top 5 trends that we're seeing in wholesale distributors are definitely a continuation of this omni-channel selling that we were just talking about. We're going to also see growing commerce ecosystems, the importance of integrations there. We're going to see local sellers expanding into global markets. That's really going to have a big impact in 2018. We're going to see an increased need for transparency for inventory and order management. Definitely being able to see inventory and stock levels and track your orders throughout the system. Okay. That's going to be a big one. And then obviously automation is going to be a big trend that we're going to see in 2018.
Okay, good. That's a solid list. Perhaps you could go into each respectively, and then maybe discuss where some of the opportunities are with each of these 5, because that's a good list.
Sure, happy to. There's definitely a lot of excitement over what's going to happen in 2018, because lots of technical advances are happening in the space. Okay. And I think the first trend is definitely omni-channel selling, which we talked about in 2017, and that's really picking up momentum in 2018. So whether a customer's shopping online on their mobile device or they're offline at a physical store, omni-channel is really about providing that consistency and the continuity of the customer experience across different touch points. And if you have separate inventory by channels, you really need to have an efficient technology to avoid stockouts and unhappy customers, because as a wholesaler, you can't have that. And I think the trend that we're really seeing there is the need to understand how much inventory you have by channel, how many orders you have, or in the process being able to see that across the entire system, and then where they'll be able to go to be able to fulfill your brand promise to your customers, because that's going to be super important. The second trend that we're really seeing a lot of is this notion around growing commerce ecosystems, and we're seeing that more and more B2B sellers are investing in e-commerce technology, obviously, to provide that same easy ordering and frictionless customer experience that online retailers enjoy. So you're seeing what's happening on customer sites like Amazon really move into the B2B space. So those are some of the things that we're seeing there in this area is around developing real-time payments, having transparent and tiered pricing so you can have different pricing for your different B2B wholesale customers, and obviously building in that person-to-person relationships into the online system that we've seen in the consumer world really come into the B2B space. And I think in 2018, wholesalers are going to look to create these commerce ecosystems that are better than ever. So, online wholesale stores are going to become increasingly discoverable online through search engines. You're going to see much easier price negotiations. They're able to happen in real time instead of taking days. And then that ordering process is going to take place virtually using online catalogs and payment gateways. So you're going to see a move from that offline world of, offline paper catalogs that you see a lot in B2B moving online, and then being able to process payments directly, as I mentioned on the, talking about 2017 trends, that the days of the fax machine and then chasing up by phone are coming to an end, which is good. So much more efficient process. And then as B2B businesses move towards that approach that mirrors that online retail space that you're seeing in the consumer world, they'll be able to offer the wholesale customers the same kind of the very sophisticated level of services that B2B consumers have already been taking advantage of for years. So that's really exciting for wholesalers.
Right.
I think the third trend that I mentioned is it's moving into expanding into global markets. So as the digital channels are opening up, the international brands are finding more opportunities to meet the consumer needs outside of their whole market, and that's obviously very much more easily facilitated in the online sphere. And I actually was reading a recent Forbes survey. They looked at 24 countries and 6 continents, and they showed within the last 6 months of being surveyed that 57%, so over half of respondents had shopped from an overseas website. So we're seeing that trend continue. And in some countries, it was even in the high 70s in terms of percentages. So that's pretty amazing. Okay. So when we're in this kind of border-free digital market, it's much easier for B2B customers to find what they're looking for at a price that they can afford. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think the challenge on the flip side of that opportunity is for wholesalers is the business really ready to support that global shopper? So if the answer is no, you really need to look at your current channels so you can meet the needs of those potential global customers, because a lot of these stores are set up for the local market.
Right.
And there's a number of things to consider there.
Right.
Sure.
That's scaling. It almost seems like they're merging in a sense. B2B is taking some things from the B2C playbook. Is the overall pattern that I'm seeing. Do you think wholesalers will obviously sell the businesses and they'll resell the product? Do you see B2B shrinking and giving way to B2C at all in a general sense, or not so much?
No, I actually see B2B growing, and we saw the growth rates from last year. I think what they're doing over the last couple of years more and more successfully is just taking those types of e-commerce workflows that you're seeing online in the B2C world, yep, and bringing those into the wholesale world. And I think because we're all consumers, whether we have a wholesale business or not, we have those expectations of what the consumer experience should be like. And yeah, their bar is set pretty high with some solutions like Shopify and Amazon, et cetera, on the B2C side. So you're seeing B2B trying to mimic that and improve their overall game.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
So I think the fourth thing that we're really seeing is around inventory and order management transparency and the need for that. So I think as Amazon continues to drive the evolution of the B2B e-commerce space, we expect to see integrated inventory and order management take center stage really in 2018, and the importance of that really being raised with this multi-channel selling. So as more and more, I talked about this one before, as B2B buyers use Amazon and other marketplaces, they're really accustomed to having all their order details and everything available in one place, including the order and the payment, being able to see different products, pricing, et cetera. And this really creates a much higher bar for B2B brands and distributors who launch their own e-commerce stores. And so you're seeing businesses using inventory and order management software and having them have to really integrate their system with their e-commerce stores. This is especially important for companies that integrate their e-commerce stores with their ERP system. And we're seeing that integration is really a critical component of the integrity of their business data, so that to make sure that they have a single source of truth and they can track all of their orders using real-time data. And then the fifth trend that I mentioned we're seeing a lot more of is automation. And this year, automated sensor and tracking information is really going to allow wholesalers to more effectively manage their operations and make informed decisions around things like shipping and staffing and warehousing. And thanks to some new offerings that we're seeing in the market, such as BlackBerry Radar, which is a sophisticated cargo tracking solution, shipping for wholesalers is going to be more efficient than ever in 2018, which is great news. And likewise, increased growth in artificial intelligence and machine learning is also going to give B2B wholesalers the ability to easily manage and analyze their Internet of Things type data, so that really allows for better planning and for them to reduce their operational costs. And I think looking forward, more and more businesses are going to begin to utilize mobile apps and other connected devices to be able to make operations easy to oversee and to provide that visibility. And once those systems are in place, I think business intelligence or BI software will help to interpret that data that's being generated for them. So that's an exciting trend that we're seeing. And if you don't have these smart devices or business intelligence tools in place right now, it's wise to at least put a plan in place this year, because I think in the long run, those IoT devices and insights can help really cut your costs and by finding efficiencies in the operational procedures. And the other big piece we're seeing in the operations and automation side is around warehouse robotics. So advances in warehouse robotics made a big impact last year on wholesale distribution, and it's going to become even more widespread in 2018. Alibaba, for example, recently ramped up their robotic labor in one of its warehouses last year, and they cut down the human workforce in the facility by 70%. So you're going to see more on that. And you can see that in 2018, it's going to be a big year for wholesalers with technology playing a really big role here in robotics. Exotech Solutions, which is actually a French robotics company, has developed a warehouse robot that can climb warehouse racks to pick up to 400 orders every hour. Pretty
finally.
Amazing and
okay.
Incredible, yeah. and then carry those orders to human workers. So you're seeing like a blend of the robotics with the human workers in the warehouses, and that trend picking up space. And then logistics giant DHL has also launched a challenge program to encourage the development of piece-picking warehouse robots. So they've got a challenge out there with a prize for the company that can develop the best technology there. And I mean, although artificial intelligence may seem better suited to sci-fi movies, there's no doubt it's going to be commonplace in warehouses all over the world coming up soon.
Right. Yeah. In the Amazon ecosystem, it's certainly running rampant already. So it's only a matter of time. Okay, so those are great. Thanks for sharing those, Bruce.
You're welcome.
I guess did you want to explain to people a little bit about what TradeGecko does and how they can learn more about it?
Sure. So TradeGecko is in the inventory and order management space. So we help to provide a single source of truth across your operations of all of your inventory and understanding that across multiple channels, including your wholesale channel, as well as to be able to track your orders and your wholesale orders across the entire system and understand where those are at, follow up for payments, et cetera. And if you want to hear more information about TradeGecko, you can check out our website, which is www.tradegecko.com, or you can contact our customer support team at success@tradegecko.com. And we've also got a webinar and an ebook on our website about these topics that we talked about today, Patrick. And you can find that. It's called 5 Trends in Wholesale Distribution on our website at tradegecko.com.
Nice. Okay, great. Well, Bruce, thank you so much. That's a really good rundown, probably in record time, of where the wholesale business is going. So I'm really I'm excited for 2018, and maybe we'll do a recap edition next year because the ground will probably have shifted by then. It'll be interesting to see.
For sure, it will have. Yeah, thanks for having me on the show today, Patrick.
Yeah, thanks so much.